Hey, how's it going, you guys? Uh, I'm in this neighborhood, Barra da Tijuca, um, and so why am I showing you this video? What is the significance of it? Well, the significance is um, this is a part of Rio where you can get the following characteristics or qualities of life that may be of interest to you, depending on your character. One, it's not as claustrophobic as Rio, okay? And I'll put a link in the description to the exact sort of location. You can rent here very easily. And the reason you can rent is because of this place. There's this old kind of resort hotel that's been converted into a whole host of privately owned Airbnbs, apartments, and other little living situations. So what's the other characteristic of Baja da Tijuca in general? One, it's very, wait a sec here. It's very, it's safe. Generally speaking, it's very safe. I mean, you can kind of sense that if you look around. These are all private compounds. There's guards, etc. Very little crime in most of these areas. Okay. Copacabana is worse. And I'm actually going to be going back over there shortly. The next thing you have is proximity to shopping malls, stores that are first rate, that are very nice, right? So people generally want that. You can get that here. Of course, you can get that in Copacabana too. The next thing is, and it kind of ties into number one, you have more space and openness. It feels shady in lots of parts of both Ipanema and especially Copacabana because there's so many tall buildings. You've got to be on a very high floor and then be indoors looking out one of those windows at the right time of day to get lots of sun. When you're down on the street, most of the day, except right at midday, it's somewhat cloudy, and not cloudy, it's shaded, right? The sun is obscured, so it's dark, right? So that is not the case in Baja da Tijuca, right? So Barra da Tijuca, if you don't know, it is west of Rio. It's kind of a wealthy suburb. But because it's spread out and there's more space, it's not as commercial, it tends to be a little cheaper, even though it's not really cheap. It isn't, but it is less money. Now, one thing, there aren't that many Airbnbs in Baja as compared to Copacabana, not nearly as many. And the apartments here, I want to tell you that these ones in this building, they're not that good. It mainly operates as a hotel with lots of the units being privately owned and managed. And you'll find them on Airbnb. Airbnb, you'll see there's a big cluster of Airbnbs right in kind of the center of Baja da Tijuca. And you'll see that there are a lot of them, right? And so that you'll notice that. And the fact is, what people have done is they put their pin in the map of Airbnb off slightly, like just maybe 100 yards away or 200 yards away, because they want to stand out. They don't want someone else's pin to be on top of them in terms of kind of a three-dimensional sense. Otherwise, you won't see their Airbnb. So when you'll think, oh, there's this big cluster. Well, that's what it is. It's all in this building because there aren't that many Airbnbs in Baja da Tijuca because there's a lot. You've got like these private compounds like this. They're houses. They're really not apartment type Airbnb deals. There are some, but just not that many. So at any rate, this is just a couple thoughts on living in Rio.